Hello and welcome to another First Encounter. We're taking a look at Cities Skylines, which is the new game in the Cities XL franchise, but don't worry, it's not actually made by the Cities XL developers. It's made by the Cities in Motion developers, so I guess they've merged those two franchises now. And this is Cities Skylines, which is, well, SimCity 2013 came out in 2013, and nobody liked it because it was a disaster. And this game basically tries to be everything that game failed to be. This tries to be a successor to this SimCity 2000 to SimCity 4. Anyway, I'm just gonna jump into a new city here.
Well, thanks for introducing me. I mean, I really appreciate it. I'm here. I'm here too. Hello.
You're here as well. Yes. I thought we were going to try to do less, less long intros and disclaimers and stuff.
Well, if you already did one, so if we're gonna do it, you might as well introduce me for fuck's sake.
Okay. So now, whatever we do, it ends up being shit somehow. That's great.
But luckily, this game isn't shit from what I've heard.
Well, I bought it on Friday, and I intended to play it a little bit, and I've played 14 hours so far, so yes, it's pretty good. Most of these maps come with the game, but this game has a robust mod support. You can make your own maps and share them on the workshop. Delta of the Pharaoh is one I downloaded. This one is one I downloaded as well. I obviously can't pronounce or read this, but it's
Dolina Matisa. I don't know how Russians pronounce double S.
Ah.
It's Russian. It's
is that a Russian S?
Yeah, that's S. That's a Cyrillic S. So we use that too in one of our two writing styles.
In one of your writing styles. God damn it, languages are shit, aren't they?
Hey, we have both Latinic and Cyrillic, so we're super set for the world.
Okay, so I'm not going to pick the one I did before. I'm just going to... Let's go with Lagoon Shore.
Okay. Oh, so you're not going to show us your super fancy advanced city?
I'm going to load into it later.
Ah, okay.
But for now, let's just load into a new thing.
Man, the load screen sure looks like Twitter.
Yes, this game kind of takes the piss out of Twitter a lot. I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you before, but it literally has a Twitter.
Oh.
It's it's awful and it's great, but it's awful.
I mean, so obviously they just want to monetize that bird and sell plushies of it.
Clearly. So, this starts off looking a lot like SimCity 3000. You even have the same highway that comes up in with some fancy fucking intersection into your little plot of a city here. Okay. And to start with, you don't have a huge number of options or a huge area to build on. We're just gonna I can only build a standard road first. So let's do that, and now we unlock the real roads that we're actually gonna use.
So your first option is to destroy the environment.
Yes.
Okay, sounds fair. I'm just gonna note, I have never gotten into city building sims.
That's a shame. They are pretty great.
I had this one period where I was like, oh, I need to try sim games, and I played a bunch of tycoon games for a month and then just stopped. And that was when I was still elementary school. I played Oil Tycoon and stuff like that.
So this is the controls here are relatively... It's basically the same game as SimCity 2013, but it works and it's bigger and it has mod support. So So it has like the same drawing tools, the same kind of zoning rules. You can zone around a road, unlike earlier SimCity games, and this is basically a SimCity game, even though it's not made by those people. It's a SimCity game. Unlike the earlier SimCity games, you can't just build a huge zone everywhere, only to then discover that you actually don't have the roads for it. And it also doesn't do the thing that where 4 did. 4 had this clumsy thing where they realized that just letting you zone where you can't actually build anything was bad. So they just auto-placed roads when you zone things, and that was a mess. This one, when you place things, it just places empty zones around here, and then I can start painting in where I want buildings to appear. So, paint this for residential. Some more residential over here. And then we can get some commercial going here in the middle.
Oh yeah, sure, separate the neighborhoods.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly the plan.
You know, that's how neighborhood wars started. Like, if you kept oh, now you're doing that. Oh my god, you're a monster. You're totally ruining the social life of children in that neighborhood.
Am I?
Yeah, because now, like, one side will be one street and the other will be the other street, and they'll be against each other, and then you'll have the neutral part in the middle, which have friends on one side and then the other, and they'll have to choose their friend. Like, this is how kids work when they're 5 and 6.
Okay, so I'm pausing now and just...
Oh, letting time flow.
I forgot to build. To build power. Let's build some horrible coal power plant that will destroy the environment, okay?
Okay, but please don't build it near the children.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, that's great. The first thing someone will see when they enter the city will be...
When they enter the city, it's already too late. You're mine now.
Yeah, they enter the city and they'll be like, oh my god, look at this environment, it's completely destroyed.
It's much harder to do clean power, but you can. You can, it just takes work. Okay, let's pump some water out of... Oh, I'm going to be mean to this place.
Oh yeah, sure, destroy that beautiful lake.
Oh, I won't destroy the lake. What am I doing? This is way too much. Yes, destroy. Yes, destroy. Yes, destroy. You get a refund if you destroy things right after you build them.
Okay.
So...
Just like real life.
This game isn't too punishing. I still haven't... I'm 14 hours in and I still make mistakes with regards to hotkeys. Simulation games get pretty complicated.
So can you increase your city limits?
Yes. I'll show that off when we move on to my bigger city.
Yeah, I'm mostly asking because you only own like a third of that lake.
Yeah, the total area you can expand to is pretty huge.
Ah, okay.
So I'm just going to... Oh, yes, there we go. And there's
wow.
Yeah, I am the worst person, I know.
You're like the Mr. Burns of the city.
Oh, I need to connect power to my environment destroying apparatus. There we go. Our plan for world destruction is complete.
You know, you're doing a great job at making me want to play this because I'm just internally screaming at the logistics of your buildings. And I'm like, no, I need to get
sewage.
this. I need to do. Oh my god, like you're horrible. No. Oh god, I need to buy this and do another video just to like stop this taint from our channel.
So. And like these are the basics. You start at this scale and just build some here.
You start at this scale, but you still manage to completely destroy the environment.
You get more options for not destroying the environment later. It's harder at the start to be nice.
Well, I guess you like playing easy mode then. Like, look at that. You have those power towers just like in the middle of the painting section. You're just gonna like build a house. Look, oh, it's horrible.
I'll remove them once I get more permanent wiring.
It's just like like the way you build things, it makes me scream. It makes me want to scream.
You kind of had to do it this way. Oh, also I should
What
get water.
that chirper thing just made a Back to the Future joke.
Yes.
Does it have like a blue and golden dress tweet?
I haven't seen one of those. It has a bunch of other weird references to things. So far, we're losing quite a bit of money because people haven't moved in yet. I guess.
Gee, I wonder
we need to
why.
build some. We need to build some industrial.
We destroy
We
the
haven't
environment.
we haven't destroyed the environment enough. Basically, is what the game is saying.
Like this is like Serbian real estate here, right? Right now.
Okay, so I'm out of money. So I fucked up this city completely.
Well, maybe if you played this like a simulation game and not MS Paint, you wouldn't have gotten to that point. I really want to see where your main city is right now.
It's a lot better than this. This went to shit.
Like the way you just...
Okay, so this is like where you start. I just want to show off the scale. I also wanted to show off some of this Twitter stuff. Some of the best tweets are the ones you get when you build a service for the first time. But I guess I'm not going to get there because I'm going bankrupt. And I actually don't have enough money to save myself right now. See,
Wow.
I could get a bunch of tax money from these businesses. Except they're not working because I don't have electricity or water. And I don't have the money to build electricity or water out there. So let's move out to the main menu and forget this happened.
This is worse than Crusader Kings.
Okay, so... That's my latest save, yeah.
Is Lulea the name of your current city? Like the one where you live in right now?
It's a placeholder name, and I haven't been able to come up with a better name yet. Like,
I mean, I know what I name my city right away.
I am really bad at naming things. This is my city.
Oh, so you only... Well, you kind of made a hybrid of destroying the environment and living with it.
See, you have to sort of put the sewage somewhere, and I'm using water treatment plants to minimize the impact, but it's still polluting this water area quite a bit. Not as much as it does before I had the water treatment plants, mind you. That was horrible. It was just purple, all this area.
Wow.
Anyway, this is my area right now. You can expand it beyond this point. If we go into here, I can buy more pieces of land. So I can buy this area, or here. And yeah,
Suburbia Inc. Wow, you are really bad at names.
that's the name of a board game. I am even worse than you think.
At least like do heavy metal references like in Guilty Gear.
Okay, so one of the coolest things about this game, I think, is like building your own infrastructure solutions.
Okay.
And I am not good at this, as you will see. Jesus Christ, the image is chugging quite a bit because...
No, I can tell as long as you don't scroll. That doesn't look good.
So, like, it sort of works. It's a roundabout, which is also like a thing for an intersection up to the freeway. And it's okay. I like this one, except... This part is congested because this whole area is a clusterfuck. It's not because this actual road is bad, it's just that this area is too much. Gridlock City, I call it. It's the like main downtown area of my city, and it's just a mess. There are way too many roads, there are way too many businesses, and there are only 2 entrances and exits to this whole sub-city.
You know that's okay because there are actual cities that work like that in real life because people suck at planning.
Yeah, like Manhattan. I basically modeled this after Manhattan, and turns out that's a bad idea if you want to make people be able to get around.
I like the current city I'm in. The roads are extremely well planned out. So essentially, if you ever want to get anywhere, you just walk in one direction and you'll get there. Belgrade, on the other hand, Belgrade was a bunch of smaller towns, and as they all expanded, they merged together. So Belgrade is essentially a mega clusterfuck like that. So I completely am fine with you having a shitty road planning thing because nobody does that right.
This is another road thing I built. This is a nightmare.
What? Like, were you building a road or a roller coaster?
I was building a road. So, cars come from here, and if they want to go south, they get on here. But if they want to go north, they need to get on here and swivel around to this one-way road that goes north.
Jesus.
And then, like, and if you come from here and want to go to the west, you get up here and this direction. And if you go south and want to go west, you go here. And this is the other, like, entrance to Gridlock City. Gridlock City is just, like, it's the most valuable land in my city because it has all the cool shit. It has the Opera House, it has, like, a high-interest tower. This is like a banking thing. It has the Expo Center, and it has my first university as well, which was why it became the big thing it is in the first place. But yeah, most of my big unique buildings are in this area, so that's why it's super attractive and everyone wanted to move in here, and it just grew, and I just kept zoning without thinking about it. And
I'm sorry, but that like Gridlock City sounds like the perfect setting for a cyberpunk story, because if someone escapes from Gridlock City, they can use the phrase, "he got off the grid."
Okay, so you follow this road, you continue here to the Fields of Harvest. I am once again a great namer.
The fields of... Are you like making these areas based on literary genres? Or is it like that previous one was cyberpunk and this is like Kids of the Corn or something?
I am just like, I cannot come up with a serious name that is good, so I just come up with a overdramatic name, and it fits.
But like the Fields of Harvest, like why don't you do the sensible thing that all politicians do and just take a person's name and call it, I don't know, Lovecraft Avenue or whatever. I don't care. I mean, Fields of Harvest.
That's boring.
That's what Secret World does, and it was fine.
You continue here, and here's Little City, which isn't so little anymore. It's
Little City, the home of Stuart Little.
It's not as... It's like half the size of Gridlock, but unlike Gridlock, I have actually like spaced it out in a way that works.
So Little City is now ironic.
Well, I mean, it's kind of little. I can actually check how many people live here.
I'm gonna admit though the layout is extremely boring.
For Little City?
Yeah.
The point was just to make it work. The point of Little City is not to be interesting.
I mean, the layout just makes me think it has an increased suicide rate.
Oh, you're awful. You're the worst. Okay.
I'm just speaking my mind.
12,000 people live in Little City.
So it's like around a third of my hometown.
Gridlock City is 21,000 people, so actually Little City is a bit more than half. I guess Gridlock has many more offices. There's not a lot of business going on in Little City.
Little City, the only businesses going on in Little City are the family businesses. if you get my drift.
You are the worst. Seriously. Okay, whatever. If you continue north here instead, you get to... I haven't actually named this area yet. This is just a settlement that sprung up around the original train station of the area.
Okay, perfect. Let's name it. Let's give you one area that has a normal name.
Okay, just gonna paint it out.
So what's this area all about? Tell me about it.
Like, this area basically only exists as a reason to, like, buy this area to get access to the railroad. That was why I bought this area. And I just placed some buildings here because I needed more buildings.
Ah, okay. So you just want to steal the railroad.
It was the easiest way to get access to the railroad at the time.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we need something like railroad based. Unless you want to hide the shameful reason why the city exists.
that's the name now. Rivet City.
Rivet City. Why not River City? At least that's a cool reference.
I'm just gonna name it Rivet because it's not really a city. It's
Rivet.
got...
Rivet's fine.
It hasn't actually counted how many people live here yet because I just painted it out.
Okay. But yeah, it's fine.
Here's Industry Hill. Old City. This had an even worse name before.
So wait, is Industry City, Industry Hill just industry?
This is just industry. Like, literally nobody lives in Industry Hill.
Except the people who are forced to work overtime and never see their family.
Sure.
I'm guessing this whole city has a phrase like, "Where do you live?" Well, considering how much I work, I live in Industry Hill. Ah ha 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 ha. And then they cry in the office.
Like, and I'm fully aware that this is not a particularly cool city. This is the first city I built in this game, and I spent 14 hours on just building all of this.
Look. You build a city exactly like I imagine a person who plays video games would build a city.
Which is?
Extremely, like, it has sound logic that is absolutely devoid of any, emotional regard for the population.
Hey, I have a bunch of parks and shit.
Yes! It's like, people aren't happy, let's build a park.
So here's the thing that happened. I built... My first energy sources were wind farms that were in this area over here.
Okay.
They don't exist anymore because I then built this hydropower plant, which dammed up the river, and you can see this result here.
So, well, yeah, I was about to ask, like, why is it so green and brown?
That's the ground.
Okay.
The river has sort of like, because I've dammed it up, the river has sort of shrunk to this half of it and just...
Well, at least build a half pipe for a skate park there or something.
I don't think I can. Also, for some reason, this dam is a road.
Okay.
By default. That's weird. And like, if you think these areas are depressing, welcome to Stone Hills. This is just a huge quarry.
Man, at least it's out of sight of the city, like normal people won't see it.
And I haven't named this area either. This is the living quarters of the people who work at Stonehill.
I take back what I said.
And
wow.
These are relatively uneducated folks. Eventually, I will have to educate them because this area will run dry and I will have to replace this with businesses and stuff. But so far, they are...
You're segregating people based on education.
No, I'm just building a place where there are only jobs that don't require education, and then uneducated people moved here.
Social, stuff says that those people will be discriminated against.
Probably.
And you're enabling that.
Yes.
Wow. Why is it that every sim game we play, like every simulation game we play with you, you just like it ends up bringing up the worst in you?
Because reasons. Somewhere around here, I
Okay.
can't find it right now, is a subway. I have a pretty extensive subway system
Ah,
that
okay.
runs through. There's the subway station.
Wait, a subway in the quarry?
Well, not all of this is quarry. Like,
Yeah.
some of this is just refinery stuff.
Yeah, okay. It still sounds really weird. I mean, I don't know if that functions, but it still sounds weird.
It functions.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a shit. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Until the first cave in.
So I have a subway system that spans this entire thing, and you can like do all of this shit
Cool.
easily. So like it's a very detailed, like, most of this game is just like a well-designed SimCity thing. The thing that I'm spending a lot of time like looking at the transport stuff here, and that's precisely because that's sort of the thing that sets this apart from the other ones. Being able to build all these things piece by piece. I can change this around as I want. I can build a roundabout here that's a roundabout in a roundabout that's monstrous stuff.
the monster bout.
Yes.
So is like the only mode in this game an open-ended sandbox mode, or is there something
Yes.
like a career mode?
No. It's just a sandbox.
So it's like, you know, like The Sims, you just do stuff.
It's SimCity.
Okay. I think the only SimCity I played was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that one was actually a pretty well designed game. I liked the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah.
But in 2000 they started adding a lot more stuff, and 3000 refined it, and 4 added almost too much. And this is like an evolution on 4 that removes some stuff and refines some others, and it's like, I think it's really well done. You can take a look at some of the like different.
Sure. So if I understand this right, this was made by people who kept saying, "Oh, I wish they'd fixed this in SimCity," or "I wish SimCity wasn't shit now."
This game was made by the people who made Cities in Motion, which is a transport game, which is why the transport part of this game is so good.
Okay.
Like, I have a railroad station here that just freights cargo, and I have intelligence set up so that everywhere that I have an industry of some kind, I have a cargo railway nearby, so that my cargo trucks won't have to drive all over the entire city.
Are there any, you know, wild card things like, you know, giant monsters attacking you or whatever?
No, there are no disasters in this one. That's one of the things they took out. Like, it's very economically designed in that what they kept in and what they kept out. It cuts corners all over the place. Let's be clear. It cuts corners all over the place, but I think it does it really intelligently to make it better and not worse.
So after you reach a certain point where your city is expanding,
Yeah.
at a constant rate, what happens that can actually endanger your progress? Like now, what would you need to do to actually screw yourself over?
It's surprisingly easy because it gets harder and harder to attract more people into your city. As you expand, you end up in a situation where your city gets so over specialized that you end up only attracting a certain type of person, more or less. It becomes really hard to just attract a lot of people to the city, and like,
yeah, but that's more like, oh, I reached a roadblock. It doesn't actually give you a game over, does it?
Trying to breach that roadblock often puts you in the red, and can do so for a significant period of time. I have been very careful on this save to make sure that I haven't gotten into deep shit, but you saw how that went in the one we started, where I just built a little bit too fast and then everything went to hell.
Okay.
Like, and you can have those situations even on this scale, because you need to build at a larger scale as well to make an impact in your changes.
Okay, so essentially, the risk is from making bad decisions. Like right now, let's say you're in the status quo. Nothing will happen if you stay like this. Nothing will improve. Nothing will go worse, or will.
Well, that's not entirely true either. The industry will continue to just pollute this entire area.
Okay.
My stone quarry will continue to deplete these resources. For
Okay.
a while, like, this used to be oil industry, but I used up all the oil reserves in this part of the island. There's some down here that I don't have access to.
Okay.
So, like, you do use up resources. These logging camps aren't going to run out of trees anytime soon because they just plant more trees, but, you know,
Okay. So essentially, you have to adapt to new developments that happen because of your greed.
yeah, and there's not a huge, like, there's not a huge amount of, like, random stuff that can happen to you. Fires will break out and stuff like that, but it's not, like, huge disasters, and maybe that's one of the bigger problems with the game, actually, that it doesn't have enough variance once you've established yourself. But I'm not sure it needs it either. Like, just trying to figure out where to go next is enough of an interesting challenge and an interesting exercise to do.
Well, that's what it looks like right now. To me, it looks like it's you reach a certain status quo, and the idea is after you reach that, you plan what you need to do next. As in, okay, what kind of industry do you shift to next from oil or whatever,
Yeah,
and then based on that decision, you either reach a new status quo or you screw yourself over and game over.
more or less, but it's not really about the game over or not, it's like how you do it. It's like, it's relatively easy to just get by. That's not the interesting part. The interesting part is like,
Micromanaging people and their lives.
no, the interesting part is just creating yourself, like, because of how many different situations you can find yourself in, the different ways you can build stuff, you end up finding new challenges, and especially in the way of, like, where do I place things, and what do I build now.
Okay.
One of the things that does happen later on is that you see these red symbols that appear on some buildings,
Yeah.
like this one. That means that this is burned down, so I need to clear it out of the way. And this is abandoned buildings that I can also clear out of the way or wait for someone else to move in there. This part of the game gets horseshit later on, because you just end up having to spend so much time racing buildings.
You sure have a lot of burnt down buildings.
Yep. And like that illustrates one of the main problems with one of the main way to fuck up in this game. I have more than enough firefighters. It's just my street layout is so shit that they often won't get there in time.
Yeah.
Especially like down here in Gridlock City. If something catches on fire here, it's going down. Unless it's right next to the fire station. Which is why I have built fire stations like right next to all the important buildings.
Wow. Well, I just want to buy this just
What's
so I
burned
can.
down here? An elementary school burned down. Oh no. They didn't like that. Let's build a new school. That school was actually not accessible by road anymore. I must have done something stupid here.
I'm just gonna pause for a moment and reflect on the tragedy of fucking elementary school burning down.
Well, I'm assuming that nobody got hurt.
You're assuming.
The-
Because that fire just started because the hamster went out of its cage and wanted to make a coffee. It definitely didn't happen because there were people in there that caused the fire.
Well, I mean, fires don't just explode a building immediately. You have time to get out. And elementary schools are very well organized and not at all chaotic. Let's move away from this horrible subject. I don't want to talk about it. It's making me really unnerved.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that when the press asks for a statement, they'll be like, "So what's your comment on the Gridlock City Elementary School burning up?" I'm very stressed right now. Please, no comment.
I have nothing to comment on the elementary school. However, I heard a rumor that there's a bulldozer right outside your workplace right now. You might want to look into that.
Wow. I just want to buy this game
Yeah.
to make the complete anti-Johnny City.
I
Just
haven't been that bad in this one. All of my power here is clean. I have the solar power plant. I have the relatively clean. I didn't intend for this to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Like, I'm sure that's an excuse everybody will like.
Then I have these nuclear power plants. I mean, nothing
Which
has
is
ever
called,
gone wrong.
it's
with
called Black Island, Johnny.
It's called Black Island because of all the oil that used to be here.
So what's it now? No longer Black Island.
Well, now it's Black Island because there's still a bunch of industry here.
Oh man.
And that's actually like that is me directly referencing a neighborhood in my own city.
Oh my god, I'm just.
There is a neighborhood here called Black Island, which is power plus steel bills and stuff like that.
No, it's fine, Johnny. Whatever horrible things you do, we'll just remember the elementary school, and anything else you've done won't be anything by comparison.
Hey, I'm sure nobody was hurt.
Do you have statistics? Like, if there's a fire, does it actually tell you, oh, this many casualties?
Nope, it doesn't give you shit.
It should. It should like guilt trip you. That should be a new update. Oh, this is how many people died because of your neglect. But then they have to like focus on expansion, like, oh, how secure buildings are and whatnot. So you're escaping from the city now.
No, I'm following this freight train. Where are we going? We are going to cargo train terminal. I haven't named the terminals, which you can do. You can name every individual building in this city if you would want to.
That's nice. I'm sure that elementary school had a name.
No.
Well, okay, I think I get why this is popular on streams, because people keep yelling at the screen.
This is popular on streams because people who are smarter than me make really cool shit. The coolest shit I've made is like this.
That 3D MS Paint experiment.
This is a bit congested, like you see here. This is nothing compared to what it was before I made this, like, this roundabout into highway monstrosity it is now. You have no idea how terrible this used to be.
I need to get this game.
This game is really good. You should get this game. Like, okay, I'm going to end on a strong note. This game is to me, this is the successor to SimCity. If you wanted a SimCity and was disappointed in what the 2013 SimCity became, then this is the game for you. No question about it. The only thing that isn't as good as SimCity is the music. Which is, of course, SimCity has had the best music.
I mean, I guess you can mod new music in.
I mean, or you can just play it on the side in a music player while muting this, which is what I've been doing.
For sure.
Anyway.
Well, okay, I like this. I might get it from my next paycheck. It's like 20 euros or something. It's not expensive.
It's like 23 or something. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
And in US money, it's $30, and in British money, it's like 23 British as well or something. It's really cheap.
Wait. They actually scale the prices properly in regions?
Sort of depends on where you buy it, from which store, But sort of. Oh, before we end, I'm gonna go out to the menu.
Yeah.
And I hope this downloaded correctly. You never know with the Steam Workshop. Content Manager. Mods. It did not. Damn it. I downloaded a mod that automatically bulldozes abandoned and burned down buildings.
Okay, so the mods are both gameplay and new structures.
Yes. It's very moddable. Like,
I'm guessing it comes with an editor.
yeah.
That's really cool.
I haven't looked at it, Annie. We can jump into here. Here's the asset editor. New asset. Select theme. Tropical theme. Whatever.
Oh, I didn't know there were tropical areas.
Yeah, totally. I don't know if any of the default maps actually use it, but... Okay, so you can either build a prop, a tree, a building, a park, or an intersection.
Yeah, but I guess you need to import a 3D model or something.
Well, for the intersections, you build them out of, like...
Yeah, all of this. That's fine. But what about the buildings? You need to import a model, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Oh my god, Chirper has a construction helmet on, because of course.
I'm telling you, Chirper plushies. That's gonna be the next big thing.
Let's jump into the building one, because I have no idea how that would work. Select.
Yeah, just go with temperate.
Select a template to start from.
Yeah, it has you load models.
You can load models, but you can also like add things like roads to it, apparently.
Yeah, I'm guessing that some structures have, built-in yards in front of them or small elements that already exist in the game.
Yeah.
That's really neat. I appreciate editors.
Yeah, and there's a map editor as well where you can like, as you saw, I had on this Delta of the Pharaoh's map. This is entirely a player-created thing. As is this. I'm just gonna load this up and check it out.
I already see myself looking at the Google Earth map of my hometown and they're just remaking that region.
I have been thinking about doing something similar.
It's because my hometown has a really interesting area.
Like, someone made this, and it's like mostly desert, so I guess this would be an interesting challenge to do, because this wouldn't be very good for any form of industry, really.
Sand industry.
I don't think there's any glass industry or sand-based thing, because this isn't like a default. Okay, there are. It is bare bones in some areas. It's like it doesn't have all the features you might want, but I'm expecting so much DLC for this game because
it's Paradox.
It's Paradox, and also Paradox hasn't had a game that sold this well since Crusader Kings 2, and Crusader Kings 2 is the biggest hit they've ever had. So far, the buzz around this game has been stronger than around Crusader Kings 2.
Yeah, the buzz exploded about this game. I just saw cities everywhere.
Which is insane. Like, this might very well become their most successful game ever, so I would expect a lot of stuff.
Look, let's face it. We had a Crusader Kings miniseries, which was fun. This also looks fun. Let's just make this a Paradox channel. I mean, they're releasing Hearts of Iron 4, and I'm totally sinking my teeth into that.
That's gonna be funny, because you've never played a Paradox game, and
yeah,
you just wanna jump into the hardest one.
I mean, I've played Hearts of Iron ages ago, but I played more of Panzer Generals. But it was also ages ago. I'm just gonna jump in Hearts of Iron 4 blindly.
Whatever you do, good luck. And if you buy this game, good luck.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely playing it. I'd be just like to spite your city. We're just gonna be rivals.
Cool.
We'll be like Springfield and Shelbyville.
I look forward to seeing your screenshots of your frustrated intersections, because believe me, it takes a while to learn how to get any of that stuff right.
Maybe for you.
Yeah.
Later, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.